day in the life, normal Monday. I never talk this early in the morning, so this is going to be weird. So yeah, we usually get up at 7. Leave my phone over here. So the alarm goes off at 7, so I have to get up. It's actually hate getting up in the morning. So I have to get up, turn off the alarm, then go to the bathroom, come back in, and then put up the picture of the book that you see every day on Instagram. So this book is The Daily Stoic. It's basically Stoic quotes from different people for each day of the year, which is pretty handy. So I was sharing that because it's a good way of, just for people to get introduced to Stoicism and see how we can have practical application to your life. What have we got today? When to stick and when to quit. So basically the advice from today is about when to stick and when to quit. So I'm big into the discipline, as you probably know, but what he's saying here is there's no point being so disciplined that you're sticking to something that isn't going to benefit you, or something that you actually figure out that you don't want to do, and that actually takes courage to change and do something different that you've been doing for so long. So it's just a bit of a dichotomy there. Like he says, you can't use that as an excuse to not be disciplined, but don't let being disciplined make you do something that you don't want to do forever, basically. So yeah, there's Seneca. So actually take a picture of that for Instagram now, and then I do heart rate monitor for just a couple of minutes. So check my heart rate, my HRV, just distract them in general. It just helps for training too and recovery. So I'm going to do that now, and then bring you out and get the movement started. So that's the heart rate reading done. So then I just get changed, go out and do my daily movements just for 5 minutes. So obviously if you follow me, I'm mad on those. Just same as you brush your teeth, brush your joints, give your body that quality movement each day. It's all gonna add up. I'll just show you then the plan for the day actually. So I have a whiteboard here. I haven't had it too long. Definitely recommend getting one. So for Monday, I usually have about 2 hours study each morning. Today it's probably going to be for ATG, Athletic Truth Group, which are trainers that I'm working with in America at the moment. And I'm also studying nutrition as well. So it'll be a split, probably do some study on ATG and nutrition today. So I try and do an hour of that first, then break for my breakfast where I do my juggling, and then I'll go back for the second hour. Then it's on to bits of work I want to do today. So it's just some client check-ins, and then last week people are asking me for once-off programs, so I'm going to start doing those because I just do one-to-one coaching online for mobility and strength. But now I'm going to start making some online products that people can buy. And then I have 2 clients today. They're actually both from San Francisco. They're brother and sister, so it's pretty cool. And then this is the workout stuff I'm going to do today. So I'm actually working with David Gray, learning some more stuff about kind of knee rehab type stuff. I'm testing myself, and then I'm going to do my upper body stuff on the parallettes, and yeah, daily habits. As Aristotle says, excellence, it's not an act, it's a habit. You should be worrying about the trajectory, picking the little things that you want to do each day, which is going to add up. So this is the stuff that I have here. Up at 7 a.m. The irony is the one day I went to record this, my alarm didn't go off because I didn't set it, and it's now 8:17. Shit happens. Okay, so yeah, study 2 hours, the workout, cold shower. I've been in a cold shower every day for, maybe nearly 2 years now. Get a bit of hanging in, listen to podcast or Audible, and get the juggling in. So, they're the stuff that I tick off every day. That's going to add up. Like I said, what's the person you want to be? Where do you want to, who do you want to become? What kind of stuff do you want to do? Getting up early, disciplined, studying about the body. When I wanted to change my job all those years ago, it's not going to happen overnight. All the stuff I've learned on the body has happened in the last 3 years because I've put in the habit. Didn't start off with 2 hours, started off with 10 minutes, but you work up. The working out, for my mobility, getting out of the hole of chronic pains, getting up to the strength goals I want, etc. The hanging healthy body, again, more learning stuff here, and then juggling is the skill stuff. So you'll see the juggling a bit. I've only juggled around, between 5 to 10 minutes a day, but it's just been over the course of 6 months. So let's see how it all adds up. I have my clients here, not afraid to share it, whatever. I have 18 clients at the moment. 2020 goal was 24, but doing kind of better than expected. So just need to keep up on that. Need to not settle. And yeah, a few other things there. And of course, the discipline equals freedom. Big motto for my life the last few years. You can apply it to anything. Look, if you have the discipline to get up early, study every day, you'll have the freedom and know a lot more about the body. You can apply that to anything. Discipline to study for your exam, you're going to have the freedom to get the results you want. You have the discipline to go now, do 5-10 minutes daily mobility every day, brushing your joints, you're going to have the freedom of a healthy, pain-free body. So let's get to it. Not a bad little space, is it? Joint health done. So do you prioritize your body as much as your teeth? If you don't, I wouldn't be complaining about chronic pains. So get on it. Send me a message if you don't know what I'm on. Okay, actually, I probably should bring this with me. So next, time to get some tea or coffee, then start the study. So here we go. No fancy coffee machines here either, which seems like mandatory for vlogging. Coffee today. I've never actually really drank coffee for a majority of my life. Then started drinking it before training that time, and then kind of getting into it now because it's there because the lads have it. So here we go. One other tip which might be useful. Obviously, I want to inform you about things along this. Hydrate before you caffeinate. Seen that from someone's Instagram. I do it anyway, but just in case you don't already know, like you slept 8 hours, whatever, you're going to be dehydrated when you wake up. So get your pint of water in before your coffee or whatever it is that you want. So here we go. I'm going to start first hour of study. Drink the water, drink the coffee, then break for food and juggling, and back to the second hour, and then a bit of work after that. Okay, so first hour roughly of study done, then just have the breakfast done. So usually have omelets at the moment. Throw on the rashers, 5 minutes set on the watch here. So 5 minutes working on the 3 ball trick that I'm doing. So I've actually started juggling maybe last November, and just want to make my breakfast. So, I just like to prove the point that you don't need to take a lot of time to do these things. Like I showed in my body, 5 or 10 minutes a day is going to add up massively. I've only juggled for 5 to 10 minutes a day, and not every day, for the last 6 months, and that's what's got me to be able to juggle the way that you see me doing it here. So people don't understand the power of tiny gains. It's absolutely massive once you add it up over time. So yeah, that's the things I'm trying to prove, and I just use it to learn skills and different things that I want. Because it's very efficient. Like, what are you going to be doing when you're cooking your breakfast? Bollocks around on your phone or messing around on your phone or whatever. So yeah, actually use the time wisely. So here we go. Music on. Start the 5 minutes, and the moment I'm working on the Mills mess. So it was a trick where you have to throw 3 balls, which looks pretty confusing. It was impossible to me 8 weeks ago, but just at 5-10 minutes every day has got me to be able to do it. So yeah, use the power of tiny gains. Let's go. Keeping an eye on how many times the balls are falling. Failure's good. Get used to it. That's why I'm always saying check the ego. So the old me would be like, I'm shit at this. Can't do it. So what's the point? Once you know how adaptable your brain is, your body is, you know that you can pretty much learn anything. I'll do a video on that soon. You have over 86 billion neurons in the brain, and the way that they can link up. You can link up in more ways than there are particles in the universe, basically, which just means over time you can pretty much learn anything you want. You don't really realise this, but if you think of you as a kid, you couldn't walk, you couldn't talk, you couldn't do fucking anything, you were useless. So again, if you had that attitude back then, I can't do anything, you try to walk, you fall over, so you give up. You try to talk, you can't, you give up. Where would you be now? You wouldn't be doing fucking anything. But if you didn't have these limiting beliefs as a kid, so you tried everything, just like I'm doing now. You tried everything, you failed, you kept going, didn't let the ego get in the way, you kept it fun, and you just tried over and over again until the neurons that fired together wired together. And then ta-da, you have your new skill, you're able to talk, you're able to walk, then you go from walking to running, so on and so forth. So again, that's why I say all the stuff is inevitable. Your brain will adapt to your environment. That's why with most adaptable species on the planet, why we're still here. So again, you can pretty much learn whatever you want. We just kind of forget that we did that as kids, and forget that our ancestors have done that for the last 6 million years to, go all the way from swinging out of trees to making rockets that fly to Mars. So again, if you're wondering why I do all these different things and blah blah blah, it's just I know how adaptable we are, and if you're not doing them, then maybe you don't know that. That's what I'm trying to share with you. So then, with knowing that, it's pretty much like looking in a sweet shop. I know I can have anything I want, but I just need to put in the time, play the long game, check the ego, go for the small gains, and then it's mine. And like I said, just need to be patient as well. You could do it if it's really important, you prioritise it, you give it a few hours a day, like the study, then it's going to improve much quicker. That's how I've learned a lot on the body over the last few years. If it's something that, isn't very important. Just give it 5 minutes a day. Like I'm doing juggling. Is it my top priority to juggle 6 balls? No. Would I like to? Yes. It's something that's fun for me. Actually really stimulating for the brain as well. Like anything where you have to concentrate really hard on, like obviously I have to do here. So the studies that can increase grey matter in the brain and things like that can actually potentially increase your IQ, you know, hand-eye coordination, all these other things come with it as well. So obviously I'm dropping a lot more because I'm talking, I'm trying to multitask. But yeah, that's it. So if you do that then, what would you be doing? What would you be doing for 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, an hour a day? Because with that knowledge you can pretty much do whatever you want. We adapt to our environment and you choose the environment, so we're pretty much in the driving seat now and you decide where you want to go. Right, 5 minutes. Time to flip the rashers and get some eggs. Whisk them up and throw them in. Cool. Right, so have that on, put the dial down a bit lower so hopefully it doesn't burn. And yeah, 5 minutes time then it's usually done. So 5 minutes on and then onto the 4 ball. So the goal is just get 6 ball juggle along with other tricks I'm working on. So 6 ball juggle by end of December. So yeah, on the 4 ball now. And 5 minutes a day, should be on the 5 ball soon enough. I can get like 20, 30 on the 4 ball. I mean, that's at a push, that'll be 1 rep max-ish type thing. I'm getting kind of roughly 15 to 20 maybe now. So, need to get that up to like 50. And then time to move on to the 5 ball. Or maybe when I get 100, we'll see. Okay, need to concentrate. Usually my last minute left, just like to try some other 3 ball, try other 3 ball tricks. So that's the one that I can do now, and I try to get it consistently is the cascade, which is this, into reverse cascade, back into cascade, reverse cascade, and then do the samurai sword, which is throw it up like that and switch it. So just try to get that twice in a row, because I just want to get that down to be able to do it every time. So a bit awkward there. Samurai sword now. Good idea. Let's try that once more. Samurai sword. There we go. Try it once more. Or not. Other tricks then. Just throw 3 consistently that way. Shite. Don't like this one that much. Good reps on that one. Get it, you know, for just spending 15 seconds on each too. Other one down. This one looks cool, so let's put more time into this one. Probably when I get the middle of the mess. It's basically doing this for both sides continuously, which will be very confusing. Like that. Last one I was doing then was 3 ball juggle and try and get one behind the back and keep going. So I've got that twice ever. Let's go for 3. Oh, fuck. Oh. Well, there you go. There we go. Kind of. There we go. time to go eat breakfast and then get into the next hour study. There she is, ready for me. So, put on the kettle again, eat breakfast, second hour study. So that's the study done. Then try and just get out and go for a walk, just get a break. So if I have to get something in the shop or whatever, if not, don't have to get out now. So I'll just do like a 30-minute loop. Listen to a podcast probably. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depending on how, if my head is buzzing from the studying already this morning. So yeah, download different podcasts to listen to, or it could be an audiobook either. So now I'm halfway through a Jocko podcast that I didn't finish, with Dan Pedersen, I think it was, so one of the founders of Top Gun, which is pretty interesting, and I've actually never seen that film, so I'm going to watch that film. So yeah, could be that podcast, might finish that one, or get more on that one. Nutrition one downloaded from Sigma Nutrition, a Phil Graham one downloaded, a few different ones downloaded, so might just get 30 minutes on one of those, get out in the sun, get the vitamin D, get a bit of a break, and then come back, do client check-ins, and yeah, start planning out them online programs that I talked about, and then probably an hour of that and start the workout, because need to have that done, get dinner before the clients later on. Let's go. Obviously not. No, remember like the last Saturday when there was people fucking everywhere?
When were we here? When was one of the days we were here? It was lovely. That's in the big room football.
It's snowing here now.
Oh, fuck off. I'm going for a walk, watch.
Time for the workout now, so going to go in and do upper body on the parallettes. So I only just bought them last week, or they only arrived last week, so working towards handstand push-up, it's one of my upper body goals for 2020, and the one arm chin up as well, so I'll be doing work on both of those, and some prehab work then as well, like stuff for the shoulders, and also stuff for the neck too. So it's good for people in the kitchen and the sitting room now, so I'm not sure how much space I'll have, but yeah, I'll do my best. Rest your head down. You can do it if you rest your head down.
Head up. Put the head on the pillow.
I'm going to put it there in case I fall. Put weight in your head down, right?
So,
See what I mean?
I don't actually
One hand.
not sure if I wanted to go.
Alright.
you hold me, please.
Don't worry about it, just I don't know what it feels like. But these are if you rest your head on the floor, you might feel good. That's counterbalance.
So you're only putting up one arm, or one leg.
Yeah, because I'm not putting my head on there, I'm holding myself in your head.
You're talking about the CDL falling not to be stealth then. What are you doing? Just that?
Yeah. It's one leg straight. Just that. That's harder now, isn't it? You rest your head down. You know what I mean? It's easier if you rest your head on the cushion.
It is not.
I know when you put it on there, you were trying to say 30 seconds.
Yeah. So I was and you have to frame.
Yeah, there you go. See what I mean? That's what I do for myself. Yeah. Let one of me legs go.
But yeah, you're using it.
I know. Strong enough to do it, but it's kicking myself up anyway.
Watch it.
Fucking kick me in the throat like you did last time. So just stop and go back up. Oh boy. Fucking hell. Don't pull me up, don't let me try it. God. Fuck. You see how heard this.
The other day,
It turns into a push-up then if you can't.
yeah.
You can't push up. It turns into a push-up then. So you do.
I thought.
Yeah, that's really helpful, like a pigeon pull. I was trying to pull you up from the top.
No, that was what I
That's
was.
it. Only that 2020. So 6 months to go. But then no excuse.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
See how that looked actually. Were you pulling my legs back or were you just?
No, it's just hold on, I wasn't pulling. Even though I was,
Yeah, I'll accept that one now. That was.
even though it's like, oh, you could have been helping me just as easy out the back there, so there could have been,
might have been, yeah.
there could have been a DNA test for that one, like.
I definitely was early on. Like, a few months ago. Last year.
See you later.
Close the legs, right? I must be getting used to that. Oh, fuck.
Oh, Nakamura. Yeah.
Training done, so just gonna have dinner now and have clients in half an hour. So what do we got here? So I'm basically trying out carnivore diet, meat-based diet, messing around with different things. Usually having just one meal with carbs. So I'm having like the omelette in the morning. Then I'd usually just have steak now, but there's leftover sweet potatoes, so put that in, and then burgers and rice later on probably. So eat this now, watch some YouTube. As I said, learn so much from it. That's why I'm putting stuff up there. Gonna watch John Danaher now on London Real, the Jiu-Jitsu wizard. Yeah, check him out if you don't know him. PhD in philosophy, probably the best Jiu-Jitsu coach in the world. So yeah, if I could pick, you know, if you had those table of people of who could give you advice alive or dead, John Danaher is definitely going to be in mine. So yeah, gonna go watch that now and check in after the clients and see what we're going to do then. Probably do the Instagram post, Instagram stories, and maybe get outside again, see time wise. Just finished with the 2 clients there. Just updated the program, so gonna go for another quick walk again, maybe just half an hour, a bit more, we'll see, and definitely gonna get a podcast in this time. On the walk earlier on, the roommate came with me, so no podcast listen to there. So yeah, just get out, clear my head a bit, listen to a podcast, and then come back in and do the Instagram stuff. The Instagram post done. Most of the stories done, few to finish as per usual. Not managing my time as good as you might think. So what are we now? 9:15. Food done. Usually just have like 2 burgers and rice. Only had 1 burger, so 2 pieces of salmon. Burger, rice, some plain salt, tasty. And then yeah, cup of tea, dark chocolate. So that's near the end of the day. So 9:15 go in, probably watch the rest of that John Danaher interview on YouTube, then yeah, try to start heading to bed then maybe around 10:30 and read a book. So I'll show you that book before I head to bed and have a little sign off. Right, time to eat. We made it to the end of the day. Just had a shower there, going to bed. It's actually bang on 11 o'clock, so I'd like to be asleep by now, but like I said, everything doesn't work out according to plan. A bit late here and there on certain things, but I'll be asleep by 11:30, still get 7.5 hours sleep. Sleep is massive. Try and get 8 hours a night. That's what I try to do. So read a bit of this, 10 or 15 minutes, get me sleepy. So it's about face. David Hackworth is about probably one of the best American soldiers ever, and this is part of what I would call like perspective training. So when I think of my own training, won't talk about it now. I can talk about it in future videos if you want. I break it down to physical, mental, and perspective training, and perspective is one I think a lot of people could do it, and it'll really help improve your life to get more perspective on it. Like even, you know, the book here is 1,000 pages, so I'm just reading a few a night, but like the part that already stuck with me and I'll never forget is it's actually here. I think I would highlight it. But it was when they were back in Japan in the war, and like we just think of some of our little problems that we have and then compare it to theirs. Like, you know, sometimes I get pissed off because the Wi-Fi connection drops. And then you think his example where they've had no food, you know, they're freezing and they're so tired, they've had no sleep, that he got to the stage where he nearly put his leg into a bunker when everyone else was sleeping, dropped a grenade in and blew up his leg just so he could go home to get comfort, to get warmth, to get sleep. Do you know what I'm saying? This is it's less than 100 years ago. Like, so you just you can't read this stuff without being forced to get perspective on your own life and how good we have it, even though, you know, we think we have it bad, but we really don't. So yeah, forced perspective is what these books give you. And yeah, I just like reading about, you know, successful people and things like that as well. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. My very exciting day in the life. But yeah, the last thing to wrap up is just like, everyone's going to be individual on this. Like, this is close to, you know, like a perfect day for me. I wouldn't say exactly perfect, but like years ago when I was like in a job I didn't like and didn't know what I wanted to do and all this type of stuff, like a good tip here is to think of what your perfect day would look like, or roughly what your perfect day would look like, and try to reverse engineer it from there. Because what people will do now, and you know what I used to try and do, is think about where you are now and try and map out how you're going to get to where you are. And if you do it that way, all you'll see are roadblocks, like, oh, but sure I have a 9 to 5, or oh, mortgage this, or oh, kids that, or oh, but sure I have no money. And you just see all these roadblocks and making excuses essentially. So if you flip it on its head, start from the ideal day and start to work back from there. So for me, it'd be getting up early, don't want to waste the day, you know, and studying something that I'm actually passionate and interested about, which is what I'm doing now. And then working out, obviously I love working out, so doing my own training, and even jiu-jitsu would come into that as well. Obviously I can't do that now, so I have the two of those. And then after that, it'd be working with people, like helping improve people's lives in something that I'm really passionate about and that I'm knowledgeable about because I'm so into it. So that's what I'm doing now. The mobility programs and the strength programs, and you know, that's going to evolve, and more things will come into it in the future. And then yeah, you know, trying to put my own spin on things in the world, try to give out value to the world through the Instagram, through the YouTube, hopefully. And yeah, and then, you know, to relax in the evening or whatever, you know, for the last hour before you go to bed. So that's, you know, the perfect day for me, really. And you know, you may look at it and think that's boring, whatever, you know, everyone has their own thing. But I'd say find your own and like reverse engineer and think, what are the things you actually want to be doing? Because yeah, you know, you've only one life. How many years do you have left? 50 years. You know, I realized pretty quickly when I finished college that, you know, I wasn't going to be wasting it living the average life, or the life that, you know, is kind of expected of you. So yeah, that's the one tip that helped me. Reverse engineer it. That gets rid of all the roadblocks. Think of the kind of ideal day that you want to be living, and just work back from there. Get a plan in place. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And no doubt this video is going to go on way longer than I thought. So yeah, you know, do the usual kind of stuff. If you're getting any value from this, you know, let me know, support me, you know, subscribe and like it, and you can comment down below then if you know, for anything else that you want, like if you want more info on the way that I plan things, or my training, or you know, any sort of different things at all. Yeah, I'm happy to do it. Like any way that I can kind of add value, you know, that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, the stuff that I put out is mainly just stuff that I wanted to see before and stuff that would help me. So that's why, you know, I'm even talking about the change in careers and things like that too, because like if I think of myself, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago when I finished college, came back from the J1, like $4,000 of debt. I was in $4,000 of debt, didn't know what I wanted to do, and yeah, just knew that I had to get a job now. And that like, not depressed me, but like to me, I was just like, I have to go working now for 40 years in something that I don't like. Not doing it. Like I just remember, I was like, I'm not, you know, around the settling thing, I'm not settling for that. Like that's not going to be me. So like even back then, like I was already googling early retirement extreme websites, you know, calculating how much I'd have to earn, you know, in the first kind of how much I'd have to earn by 40 so that I could retire then and actually start doing things I enjoy in my life. So, you know, I already had not settled in my head once I finished college, but obviously as I started kind of learning more, I was like, right, why am I going to wait till 40? You know what I mean? Like, do this ASAP. So that's when all the habits and stuff here started. You know, I'd planned to kind of get into a career I enjoyed probably 3 years before it happened. Like, you know, putting all this stuff in place, and none of this stuff that I do can happen overnight or anything like that. As you can see, hey, getting up in the morning and all that sort of stuff. But that's why the habits are going to be the most important. Like, again, go back to the small gains. Does one day matter on the grand scale of things? No, it's useless. But what about over the full year? That's 365 days. What about over the 2 years? Over 700 days? What about over 3 years? That's over 1,000 days. So think of the stuff that I'm doing there, the daily habits, the study, the working out, you know, the skills, the juggling, the educating myself, all that kind of stuff. All those small gains have just added up to, you know, giving me the life that I want to live. Same way as the training, same way as everything else. So yeah, that's my 2 cents, I guess. And yeah, like I said, look, I know that was me out there. I know there's going to be at least one person watching this video, definitely at least one person watching this video who's gonna take value from that. So that's good enough for me. And yeah, if you want to message me, chat about it, cool, or anything else in the video. So as usual, blabbed on for ages, but hopefully some of it was useful. So I'm going to go read this book now for 10 minutes and then go to bed. And one last thing I'll show you, actually, just thought of it there. Like this one, Mammy. Mum got me that there a while ago. As you know, I like my quotes. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. So again, pretty self-explanatory what that means. So all the time when I was waking up in the morning, you know, doing the mobility stuff on the side, not really going the way I wanted sometimes, and I'd just be like, Jesus, maybe I should just stick in the 9 to 5, you know. But having things like that, and like the discipline equals freedom, just kind of reminds you, look, you know, what life do you want to live? Do you want to live the one of, you know, the one of safety, or do you actually want to follow the things that you're passionate about? So the 2 questions that I'd ask myself if I was you, thinking about that sort of stuff, is think your deathbed. You know, think your deathbed. When you're on your deathbed, make a decision from there. You know what I mean? If you're on your deathbed, would you be happy that you played it safe, you stuck in 9 to 5 because you were too afraid, because there was too many excuses, this and that? Or would you be proud of yourself that you went after things that you want to go after? So when I made that decision in my head 3 years ago, I was like, right, could follow the general route, go for the money, this, that, but decided that I'd actually be happier being 70, 80, no family, no kids, and all this kind of stuff, because I followed the thing I was passionate about. So yeah, once you make those sort of decisions, everything else is easy from there. So and the final one that I've seen recently was, if you had a child and they grew up to be like you and made the decisions that you made, would you be proud of them? So yeah, some deep questions here before we go to bed. But what those 2 questions do is they'll give you a perspective, and that's what you need when you're thinking about this sort of stuff. It's hard to get perspective on yourself, but if you ask yourself those questions, the 2 that I just mentioned, it'll actually give you perspective and going to make things a lot clearer. So if you haven't heard, there's like a book, I can't remember the name of it, but it's going around like interviewing people on their deathbeds and asking about the biggest regret, and what do you think the biggest regret was? Not living a life that was true to myself. So yeah, we'll leave it on that. Good night, until next time.